for real?
Answer you.
Am I talking to you?
Cities, in many ways, have had a difficult time in the last 4 years. Office values have declined as people were leaving cities in droves in the beginning of the pandemic, and that has led to a decline in tax revenues. I think what we're heading into is structural budget deficits for those types of cities, where all of a sudden they need to make up billions of dollars of missing tax revenue. To some extent, this is already happening in Boston, where people have predicted Boston is somewhere between $1.5 billion and $2 billion short because of commercial property value declines.
I think our largest and most systemically important cities in the United States, in particular some of our legacy cities, Chicago, New York, San Francisco, still face significant challenges over the next couple of years that require significant cooperation between the public and the private sector. Issues around a shift in the geographic locus of activity. Where do we engage with one another, whether it be in offices, whether it be to socialize?
A lot of people still want to be where the action is. And the action definitely came back to the cities.
When you look at where the kids coming out of college want to live, the majority want to live in New York. They want to live in Boston. They want to live in San Francisco.
So in cities like San Francisco, you're starting to see leases, signed. You're starting to see the growth, of AI and having a positive, impact there.
They want to live in these major markets that are dynamic, vibrant, have whole restaurants, great bars to go to, good high caliber jobs where they can make a very good income.
And similarly, I think cities that are forward-looking and that are making, business-friendly, population-friendly investments are going to potentially thrive because they'll be attracting new businesses that are attracting more people. I see a city like New York City do fairly well.
They love to live in the city, to spend time, to go to restaurants, to go to shows. What people mostly hate is the commute, and that's why American cities are impacted more.
Well, the health of cities is very important to the commercial real estate industry. We've had this successive doom loop that's been happening across many cities, and it's the industry that can come and help solve that with the work of local governments, but it's creating places that people want to live, work, and play.
New York had an amazing opportunity with congestion pricing that's on pause, maybe dead here, to reinvigorate streets for people instead of cars. I think the most successful cities will be the ones that continue to basically realize that their biggest strength is they bring a lot of people together in one place. And so investing in assets that can increase the number of people. And that means more walkability, more bike lanes, but also more bars, more restaurants, more ability to have fun. New York has rallied in a way I think that San Francisco has not, is because New Yorkers are back and going out.
The moment for New York is incredibly exciting right now. And we have made a lot of progress from the depths that we found ourselves in 2020. So we are actually at an all-time high in the history of New York for private employment. In fact, we are the fastest growing metro over the last 12 months across any metro in America.
I think that most of US major markets have come back from the tipping point, meaning there's a point at which there's not enough ridership on your public transportation. No one is going into the office. The retailers are struggling or have failed. And there's no vibrancy. Security is very difficult in that circumstance without people walking on the sidewalk. And I do think, unfortunately, that there's a couple of major urban markets in the US, perhaps Portland, San Francisco, where in areas you're struggling with that.
So the question is, how are we going to reinvent the cities of the future, and what economic activity will take place there, and what's the real estate that will support that economic activity? I think the cities that can figure out the answer to that question the best are the ones that are going to be the winners in the future.